Distraction is the ultimate enemy. It steals time in increments, leaving nothing but regret. It disguises itself as entertainment but cripples ambition. The modern world is designed to hijack your focus and weaken your will. If you're still drowning in the noise, still scattering your energy, still mistaking busyness for progress, then you're already losing. But if you're ready to embrace presence, to sharpen your focus, and to forge your destiny, then this is for you. Welcome to the war on distraction. It creeps into your life in the smallest, most insidious increments, moments stolen without your notice, slipping through your fingers like grains of sand you'll never reclaim. Every second it steals builds a mountain of regret so heavy it crushes the spirit beneath its weight. It hides behind the mask of entertainment, seducing you with fleeting pleasures, mindless distractions, and empty comforts. But make no mistake, this facade is a trap, a cage designed to cripple your ambition, to keep you chained to mediocrity while the world around you moves forward without you. The modern world is a battlefield engineered to hijack your focus, designed to sap your willpower and scatter your energy into a million pointless fragments. Every beep, every flash, every fleeting distraction is a calculated assault on your mind, an enemy that waits patiently to feast on your potential. It doesn't announce itself with the roar. It whispers, it seduces, it lulls you into complacency until one day you realize you've been robbed of your dreams, not by a single moment of failure, but by the endless erosion of your attention. Weak minds believe distraction is harmless, a trivial nuisance, a break in the monotony. But those who have tasted the bitterness of real struggle know the truth. Distraction is the ultimate enemy. It is the silent assassin of greatness. It creeps in like a shadow, infiltrating every corner of your life, corroding your discipline, and draining your energy until nothing remains but hollow excuses and shattered potential. The world will gladly offer you every form of distraction if it means you never reach your true power. If you want to rise above the swarm of mediocrity, if you want to carve your name into the fabric of history, you must declare war on distraction. You must build walls of iron around your mind and guard your focus like a precious fortress. Every moment spent in scattered thought is a moment lost forever. Every temptation you yield to is a brick in the prison that will hold you captive to a life of regret. Strength is forged in the furnace of focus. The path to greatness is paved with relentless discipline and brutal rejection of all distractions. The strong don't just avoid distraction, they annihilate it. They understand that attention is a weapon, sharper than any blade, and that victory belongs to those who can wield it without falter. This is your choice. Submit to the endless noise, the chaos designed to break you down, or stand unyielding, sharper, stronger, and deadlier in your focus than anything that tries to pull you away from your destiny. Distraction is not just an obstacle, it is the ultimate enemy. Conquer it, or be conquered. The battlefield is your mind, and the war is far from over. Presence is the silent force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the invisible weapon wielded only by those who refuse to be slaves to distraction and chaos. It is the essence of mastery, the pulse that electrifies every action, the razor edge that sharpens your focus until your mind cuts through doubt and hesitation like a blade through flesh. Presence is not just being there. It is commanding your entire being to inhabit this exact moment, fully alive, fully aware, unshakable in your attention. Most people stumble through life in a fog, trapped in the prison of their scattered thoughts, lost in the endless noise of past regrets and future anxieties. Their minds are fractured, shattered into 1,000 pieces, unable to grasp the power that comes from absolute focus. They drift, distracted and powerless, puppets to their own drifting attention. But to be fully present, this is to become unstoppable. To move through the world with a force so intense that reality itself seems to bend and shift beneath your will. Presence magnifies every effort you make, turning small actions into seismic shifts, fueling an unbreakable momentum that crushes obstacles and shatters limits. It is the secret behind every titan of history, every legend born from struggle and triumph. The weak dismiss presence as unnecessary, trivial, or even uncomfortable, preferring the easy escape of distraction and denial. But the strong, those destined to rise, know better. They understand that presence is the only path to true greatness. It is the forge in which the iron of your spirit is tempered, the ground where victory is claimed and mediocrity buried. If you want to rise, if you want to transcend the masses and carve your name into the halls of power and achievement, you must embrace presence. You must learn to anchor yourself fully in the moment, to silence the noise, to reject the pull of scattered thoughts and fleeting distractions. Presence is not a luxury, it is a weapon. The power of presence is the path to greatness. Master it, or be forever lost to the fog of insignificance. They wander through life like shadows, mere echoes of purpose, reacting to the world around them instead of seizing it with unrelenting force. Their energy is fractured, splintered between meaningless noise and ambition so diluted they barely flicker in the darkness. They confuse motion for momentum, mistaking endless busyness for real progress, but without ruthless focus, all their frantic efforts scatter into the void, wasted, empty, powerless. The weak are nothing but puppets, strings pulled by distraction, their wills shattered by the constant barrage of trivial demands and empty tasks. They wear busyness like a badge, fooling themselves into believing that drowning in chaos is the same as climbing to greatness. But it's a lie wrapped in comfort, a trap disguised as productivity. The strong see through this illusion. They understand that true progress demands more than movement, it demands absolute, relentless focus. Focus is the crucible where greatness is forged. It is the difference between a life wasted in reaction and a life lived as a force of nature, unstoppable and sharp as a blade. If you want to rise above the noise, if you want to carve your destiny with your own hands, you must reject distraction in every form. You must strip away the false busyness that keeps you chained and face the raw, unfiltered power of focus. Because the weak, those puppets dancing to the tune of distraction, will never break free. Only the strong claim their power by mastering their attention, by becoming the masters of their own fate. Reject distraction, or remain a slave forever. They do not merely resist distraction, they annihilate it with ruthless discipline, a relentless hunger that consumes hesitation and drowns doubt before it can take root. Every action they take is a calculated strike, executed with full immersion and unwavering intent, like a predator locked onto its prey. The greats dominate not because they are stronger or luckier, but because they are fully engaged, every fiber of their being tuned to the moment, every movement purposeful and deliberate. Masters of presence don't let their attention wander, they control it with iron will, bending their focus until the chaos of the world crumbles around them and only their vision remains. They are architects of their reality, wielding presence as a weapon to carve through distractions and forge paths where others see only obstacles. The weak, blind, and careless believe distraction is harmless, just background noise in the theater of life. But the strong know this is a lie whispered by weakness itself. Focus is not a mere tool. It is the only path to greatness. Without it, all effort dissolves into dust. All ambition fades like a candle in the wind. If you want to rise, if you want to transcend the masses and leave your mark etched deep into the fabric of existence, you must seize control of your attention. You must become the master of your presence, the commander of your focus. Because masters of presence don't just survive, they dominate. They control their attention, and in that control, they wield the power to bend reality to their will. Notifications explode like landmines in the battlefield of your mind. Screens flicker with hypnotic lights, and empty entertainment spreads like a poison designed to numb your senses and weaken your will. The modern world is a ruthless predator, stalking your attention, waiting for the moment you falter to strike and steal what little focus you have left. The weak succumb without a fight, trapped in endless scrolling, wasting their precious potential on a digital abyss that consumes their time and erodes their dreams. But the strong, they know better. They treat their attention as a weapon, sharp, deadly, and precious beyond measure. Like a warrior guards his sword before battle, they guard their focus with vigilance and unbreakable discipline. Every moment wasted is a wound inflicted on their future. Every distraction is a battle lost in the war for greatness. The world is an enemy that wants to rob you blind, to fracture your attention and leave you powerless, broken, and lost in noise. The weak are blind to this assault, believing distraction is harmless, a trivial annoyance they can afford to indulge. But the strong stand firm, knowing that focus is the only path to true greatness. If you want to rise, if you want to dominate your destiny and crush mediocrity beneath your feet, you must guard your focus with your life. Because the world doesn't want you to win, it wants to steal your focus, to keep you weak, distracted, and forever lost in the noise. Guard your focus, or be lost forever. Mastery is forged in the fires of relentless devotion to the work itself, not for fleeting rewards or hollow praise. It is the domain of those who act with a ferocity born from pure engagement, completely consumed, utterly unshackled by fear, doubt, or the desperate need for validation. True presence arises only when your entire being is tethered to the moment, when you surrender every ounce of concern for outcome and immerse yourself wholly in the craft. The masters don't chase applause or recognition. They are swallowed by their passion, driven by a force deeper than ego or reward. This is action stripped of expectation, the raw, brutal heart of greatness. The weak cling desperately to validation, needing the world's approval to feel worthy, their movements weighed down by fear of failure and judgment. But the strong rise above this sickness, knowing that validation is a poison that clouds the mind and fractures focus. If you want to rise, if you want to shatter every barrier and claim your place among legends, you must embrace action without expectation. You must become the relentless storm of creation, moving forward with a cold, unyielding focus on the work itself. Because action without expectation is not just a mindset, it is the only path to true greatness. To master your craft is to master yourself, and the moment you detach from outcomes, you become unstoppable. Where your attention flows, your future is born like a shadow following your every move, silent but inevitable. When you feed your mind with fear and regret, you breathe life into a world consumed by suffering, a prison built from the chains of your own making. But when you turn that relentless focus toward action, toward mastery, you forge a world of unbreakable strength and iron will, one that bends to your command, shaped by the force of your concentrated intent. Your focus does not merely reflect reality, it carves it out of the chaos, molding the raw, unformed fabric of existence into something powerful, something undeniable. The weak live as victims of circumstance, shackled by the illusion that their reality is a cruel fate they cannot escape. They surrender their power to the winds of chance, allowing fear to dictate their path. But the strong, the ones who rise above the wreckage, know the brutal truth. Reality is a mirror held up to the focus of your mind. They understand that focus is the path to greatness, the weapon that cuts through doubt and hesitation, the fire that forges destiny. If you want to rise, if you want to shatter the limits imposed by life, you must take control. You must shape your reality with ruthless precision, directing your focus like a laser, burning away weakness, and forging a future worthy of your ambition. Because your focus shapes your reality, and in that power lies the difference between a life wasted and a life conquered. Presence is not a gift granted to the lucky, it is a brutal choice you make every second, every breath, every day. The weak surrender themselves to the currents of distraction, drifting aimlessly as puppets in a play they don't control. They let their minds fracture, their focus scatter, and their will crumble beneath the weight of convenience and comfort. But the strong seize command with iron fists, refusing to be ruled by fleeting impulses or the chaos that surrounds them. Your ability to master focus is the crucible that will decide your fate, whether you rise to build an empire of unshakable strength or fade quietly into the shadows of forgotten dreams. There is no middle ground. Discipline is the relentless force that carves the path forward, the uncompromising code that separates those who achieve from those who merely exist. The weak whisper lies to themselves, convincing their shattered minds that discipline is unnecessary, that greatness can be reached through shortcuts and easy escapes. But the strong know better. They understand that discipline is not a burden but the only way forward, the unyielding backbone of every triumph, the harsh light that exposes weakness and refines power. If you want to rise, truly rise, you must embrace discipline in its rawest, most unforgiving form. You must forge it into your weapon and wear it like armor, for in discipline lies the relentless power to command your presence, to dominate your focus, and to conquer your destiny. Because discipline is not just the path, it is the only path forward. Distraction is the ultimate enemy, a silent assassin lurking in every corner of your mind, waiting to dismantle your dreams piece by piece. It steals your attention, fractures your will, and turns giants into puppets, mindless slaves to the endless noise that consumes their potential. But the masters of presence, they are a different breed. They seize control of their attention like warriors gripping their swords, bending their minds with fierce precision and unyielding discipline. The world is a battlefield designed to rob you of your focus, to scatter your energy into chaos and leave you powerless. But within you lies a weapon far stronger than any distraction, the power of presence. Action without expectation, pure, relentless effort untethered by the need for validation or outcome is the fire that forges champions. Your focus does not simply reflect your reality, it carves it out of the raw chaos of existence, shaping a future forged in strength and unbreakable will. Discipline is the only way forward, the relentless path that separates those who conquer from those who crumble. If you're ready to embrace presence, to sharpen your focus, and to forge your destiny, then this is your moment. The war on distraction rages all around you, but the battlefield is yours to claim. Sharpen your focus. Steel your mind. Rise. If this resonated with you, if you are ready to stop drowning in the noise and start embracing presence, then hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning. The journey to greatness is long, but it's worth it. And I'll be here, every step of the way, to guide you. So subscribe now, and let's rise together.